Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show with the Teach Better team. We have Erin He with us, which I am so excited to dive into our theme this week with her. We also have, obviously, it's Tuesday, our good news stories, good news articles, and so much more holidays that we can celebrate. This is definitely a day to remember. It is February 22nd, which a lot of people are very excited about because February is the second month of the year. It is the 22nd today, and it is 2022. So we are just going to continue to celebrate all the good things on this wacky day today. Please feel free to say good morning in the comments, and we'll be right back to get started. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Erin, how are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm super glad that we get to chat this morning. I know you and I obviously get to work together on the Teach Better team on a daily basis, but not often recently have we been able to just hang out and talk shop.
I know. I'm really looking forward to this. It's my February break here in Rhode Island, so I finally get a chance to hop on. So thank you again for the invite.
I love it. You're in my favorite state. I've been to Rhode Island a few times because of you, and I am dying to get back to Rhode Island. I need to figure out a trip or a vacation or something.
I have to say, the littlest state packs a punch, and so everyone should come visit Rhode Island because it is honestly the best state.
Oh,
Not that I'm biased.
I know you're biased, but honestly, every time I've been out there, it's just been gorgeous. I've been in the middle of November. I've been in May. I mean, it's just every time I go, it's a great environment. I love the city. Oh, so many good things. Guys, let's plan a vacation. It's Tuesday morning. This is a sign. Let's plan a vacation.
I know everyone with March vacations coming up, definitely come to Rhode Island. If Rae can handle a snowstorm parking in Providence, everything's great.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Erin, for people who may not be connected to you, I know you have a long history of being connected with the Teach Better team. I feel like I've been stalking your career for years. Now you're officially a team member. Would you mind kind of introducing yourself for people that may not be connected?
Yeah, absolutely. So when Rae and I met, I was teaching English. It was my very first year actually in the classroom. We met at a conference. So yeah, you have kind of been hanging out for my entire career. I taught English here in Rhode Island at a public school, and that time period when I was in the classroom, I also created the Young Educators Society of Rhode Island, which is a professional and social networking organization for new teachers to bridge that gap between college and career, and hopefully to keep people in the classroom for longer than that 5-year dropout rate. And then recently, over the pandemic, I got a master's online, which is a lot, and I switched to my new position as an instructional systems coach at a different high school here in Rhode Island. And also as of January, so as of 2022, I'm officially a team member, which is fantastic. So that's a little bit about my backstory.
I feel like it was just meant to be, Erin. From the moment I met you, and I truly do not say this lightly, and I really want to emphasize, I would not say this if I don't believe it. You have been so impressive. From the moment I met you, you have been chasing massive, massive goals and dreams. You have been so dedicated to supporting other educators. I just remember just being in awe of the work you were doing in Rhode Island, the work you were doing to support new educators. And then when we had one opportunity to snatch you up and bring you on the team, I was like, sign me up. I've been an advocate for your work for years.
Oh, well, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Oh, it's so fun. So what are you doing with the Teach Better team? I guess we should probably go into that too. What's your role here?
Yes, I'm the Speakers Network Manager. So I work with the amazing speakers that Teach Better team works to support, and we provide opportunities for professional development across the country, which is awesome because there are so many impressive speakers who are a part of this network, and I get to hang out with all of them and the Teach Better team. How great is that?
Oh my gosh, I think this is such a perfect role for you because you are a professional networker. I know that all of us should possess that skill of being social and bringing people together. I mean, obviously, it's a passion that many of us carry. You are such a pro at it. I'm so glad that you took over this role. And I was just editing a video. Maybe this is a spoiler. I don't think it is. You know how in Teach Better 12 Hour, we're doing those commercials. You just did one. And I can't wait for the world to see it, because I feel like you just articulated so many wonderful things about our Speakers Network. And we were kind of able to feature a few photos of educators that are a part of our Speakers Network. So for those of you who may not be familiar with all the educators, a part of the Teach Better Speakers Network, you can go check that out at teachbetter.com/speakers network. It's all over there.
And check out this video, the ad on the Daily Drop-In on
I know,
Saturday.
it's gonna be fun. It's
Yeah.
kind of helpful. I mean, for those of you who have seen 12 Hour, you might probably already know this, and you may have seen a transition if you watched the first 12 Hour that we did, oh my gosh, in 2020 to obviously now we've learned a lot, right? There's a little bit of a learning curve to putting on 12 hours of professional development, one of which is those commercials. So you can like transition people on and off screen and kind of check some stuff in the background. So those commercials are always so fun, and it's cool to be able to see different faces. I'm so excited that you're going to be a part of it.
Me too.
So good. For those of you who are joining us, good morning. It's so good to see all of you. Erin, I know we're getting started in kind of a crazy Tuesday. What are your thoughts on this 2-2-2-2-2 Tuesday?
I honestly can't believe it. I still kind of thought it was like the 5th through the 12th, date-wise of the month, up until you said it's February 22nd this morning when we got on the live. I was like, wait, what? So I'm still a little bit in shock that February is almost done.
Okay, so I think it's funny that you picked those dates to think it was, because everyone last week was so thrown off. It was like the full moon, Valentine's Day. There was a ton of Teach Better announcements. We just had the Super Bowl. There was snow and crazy weather everywhere. Like, you're right. Last week was like confusing. No one really knows if it happened. Now we're in a brand new week and it has something wacky again. Of course, this is just our luck in education.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm also a little bit thrown off because I did get a puppy last week. So honestly, my timeline is very skewed.
Okay, Erin, I know that people are going to roll their eyes at us, but obviously here on the Daily Drop-In, we are willing to talk about dumb things to, add some education, maybe some humor. Erin, you and I both don't have children, but a new puppy sure feels kind of like one. And I know that is a big statement. New babies are totally different. I understand, but holy moly, new puppy responsibilities. Tell me about this.
Yes, I don't know if bringing home a 10-week-old dog in the middle of February was necessarily our best move, since both my husband and I are educators, but he is so cute, he makes up for it. But yeah, it's been definitely an adjustment, and I think the lack of sleep is catching up on the two of us. So it's nice to have February break this week to kind of reset and remind him like what potty training is. So, all good.
We have some people watching now. I'd love to know. I think February break is just an East Coast thing. I could be wrong. I would love to hear if somebody can comment where you are and if you have this like February break. I love the concept. Here in the Midwest, I can tell you, I have a lot of educator friends who'd be so, so jealous. I know on the West Coast, there would be some jealousy as well. But February break sounds awesome. A week off of school to kind of reset, is there a focus? Can you tell me a little bit how it's framed for you?
Yeah, frankly, it came back in the pandemic. It was gone for a while. It came back with the pandemic as a way to kind of air out the school buildings after that like really, really germy flu season in January. So there's not actually a great necessarily reason for us to have February break, because we were used to having 1 week off in April and calling it a day for the semester. And it worked out great for the high schools, because when you're a high school teacher, you're giving exams that last week of January, then you have like a week or two before February break. So it's hard to get into the swing of new semester content. But for the elementary school kids, they love it. I think, maybe condensing it to like a college break sometime in the middle of March might not be the worst idea, but it is a very unique thing to, I think, maybe Rhode Island and this pandemic season that we're in right now. So
I will say, I always joked, and people can disagree, but I always joked February was the worst month. So the fact that you just offered a vacation in the middle of the month to kind of reset and I think that's awesome. I would move into March personally. I love February break. But do you have spring break then later?
Yes, like early April break.
Yeah. That's what I need in life. That's what we all need. I'm an advocate for this, especially this year. We have a lot of people commenting. I'm sorry, we're going to get to those, I promise. But people are joking around. Definitely that people are very excited to see you. I'm thrilled to see that people were able to catch this morning's show, maybe because of some icy roads. Please be safe out there. Holy moly. Puppies are like kids or worse than kids, as a comment says. So, okay, I'm okay with this,
Okay.
Erin. We weren't too crazy. And then it looks like Texas, somebody from Texas is commenting saying no February break. Yeah, I really do think for whatever reason, most people I've heard on this February break so happen to be on the East Coast. I don't know why that would be, but a little jealous, Erin. We're all like cheersing you this morning, hoping that you're enjoying your break.
It's been great.
It's been great, especially with a new puppy. Hey, Erin, we typically at the beginning of the show have been starting to do this thing where we enter a moment of gratitude on an app called Happy Feed. Happy Feed is a free app that is not necessarily built for educators, but we see so many different uses for teachers and classrooms and school buildings, kind of all over, to be able to share a moment of appreciation, a positive, a moment of gratitude, kind of once a day. What I really like about the app personally is it's not just a way to document something wonderful, but it really is an opportunity for us to kind of reflect back on different moments of gratitude. There's a number of different features in this free app that allows you to kind of revisit past memories. And so right now we're continuously building our daily drop-in kind of like mentality here of all these fun memories. So before we get into our segments this morning, I'd love to enter kind of our Tuesday message. Anything that comes to mind when you say what you're appreciative for or something you're grateful for?
I'm this morning so appreciative for this network because I know this was kind of a last minute jump on the daily drop in this morning, but I am just so grateful for this network of support that the Teach Better team provides and giving me this opportunity to say hi to everybody this morning.
Yes, no, I love that. Yeah, for those of you who pay close attention to the daily drop-in, Erin was not necessarily supposed to be on this morning. We had a cancellation due to an illness, so we're wishing our guest that was supposed to be joining us a very, very happy and healthy Tuesday. But Erin, we're so thrilled that you were able to join us, and obviously people are eating it up in the comments. Good to see you, because I mean, Erin, you really do have a reputation on your own for all the work that you've done, and to be able to now have you as a team member. And obviously a lot of people in our network are familiar with you because you've presented. You were at the Teach Better Conference 2019. I mean, you've been a familiar face for a long time. I love it.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all again.
All right, we have entered in our moment of gratitude in the Happy Feed app. If those of you are interested in taking on the challenge of submitting in Happy Feed, we really do love and support this team that is trying to just spread some love and positivity. So you can go to anywhere in your apps and you can just download this free opportunity. It's called Happy Feed, and it just downloads straight to your phone. It also provides reminders. So I always appreciate it. 6:10 Central Time, 7:10 Eastern Time. I get a little ding on my phone during the show reminding me to do that. So we'll be right back here for our Brainstorm Bank. All right, everyone, we are continuing forward with our Tuesday show here. Good morning. Good morning. It is February 22nd. There is a whole lot going on, and I just can't wait to continue this conversation. We have Erin He with us. Erin, we have a lot going on this week for so many different things. The Teach Better team, in education, everything in between. But this moment in time on the show is really just an opportunity that we have to kind of reach out to our network and say, hey, friends, do you need anything? This is a great place to brainstorm different opportunities. Maybe you're thinking through how to reach a student better than ever, collaborate with a colleague. Maybe you're striving to bring a new idea to your leadership team and you want to brainstorm a little bit. So feel free to add any comments or questions or topics that you want to discuss. Erin and I definitely don't promise that we have all the answers, but we're totally here to brainstorm. Erin, tell us a little bit about how brainstorming is a part of your role in obviously this new position you've taken on since the pandemic began.
As an instructional systems coach, brainstorming is what I'm pretty much focusing on this year. It's a very new role in a new district, or a new district to me. And it's all about building systems and foundations that we can continue to grow and expand upon. So, constant reflection is critical in this brainstorming process as well, like reflecting on not only my experience, but also reaching out to teachers and other community members in this building and getting their feedback on what worked, what didn't, and how we can build a stronger system moving forward that is going to continue to adapt and grow with us as in the times that the ridiculousness that we are facing in education right now. So when it comes to brainstorming, it's a lot of collaboration and a lot of sticky notes. I have a very large rainbow collection of sticky notes across my entire desk and office. And then it's just, again, like asking people for their feedback, even on like what we think is the final product. And in
Yeah.
this new role as the Speakers Network Manager as well, it's all about building those systems and those foundations that can adapt and grow with the Teach Better team. So I feel like my every day is just constant brainstorming and coffee. So really enjoying that.
Yeah, no, I'm so, yeah, I think this goes so well together. Obviously, you work every single day to work with educators. You're with our speakers network. I'd mentioned earlier that you are a part of a commercial that we're featuring on 12 Hour Live to celebrate our speakers network. There's so many different things here that I know you are so active in supporting and brainstorming with others. I will say, Erin, our theme this week kind of aligns with supporting others, but it also has to do with supporting ourselves. Our theme this week is called Small Steps, Big Gains, moving forward, looking ahead for your own goals. And I think some of our personal goals or professional goals might relate to supporting other people as well. Do you find yourself setting goals? Like, do you set goals individually for yourself, with others? What's your experience with that?
Constantly. And I know you mentioned this in the beginning too, but like I've only been in education for about 6 years, right? Since graduating college. So in that time, it's been a lot of just like, ooh, what's next? What's next? What can I continuously work for? And when it comes to goal setting, I've been trying to make a switch recently to being more like personal goal setting as opposed to professional goal setting, because I'm really happy where I'm at with, with this, with my work with the team, with my work in this new school, this new district. And I kind of want to like stay here for a while. So now it's just like kind of turning inwards and being like, okay, like what kind of additional personal goals can I start working towards, and being really intentional in the why am I working towards this? Is it, like I don't want to be working towards something for the next Instagram post, right? But it's like, what can I do to continue to move forward in this time where, because of our global circumstances, everything's kind of like in stasis. So, yeah.
It's so interesting. I said something similar to Jeff yesterday, and hearing you say this back to me, I wonder if this is actually a very relevant topic we need to talk about with our community. The Teach Better Network holistically is typically full of very, very passionate educators that are driven. They want to be better. They're like constantly learning, they're constantly connecting. And I, too, similar to what you just shared, kind of always have had these very ambitious professional goals. But then you find yourself in a spot where you really feel like you're being fulfilled, like you're really serving in your passion space. You feel like you're making an impact. And there's this reminder that it seems like this is a phase of life that maybe comes in and says, okay, so what goals do I have personally? And I think it's so interesting, just as you're speaking, reflecting on your progression over the past few years. You have been so ambitious. You're constantly helping people. You're constantly trying to elevate and do the next big thing. Taking some time to set some personal goals probably feels a little strange for you, because you've always had this, goal to get into education. Okay, now you had the goal with, starting the SRI. Now you're getting into your master's program. Now you're getting a new job. I mean, holy moly, talk about ambition.
It's been moving very quickly. Yes, absolutely. But it has also been a challenge to kind of step back from like making goals that are going to serve others and trying to set a goal that's going to serve me personally. That's been a really big adjustment. And I
Okay.
think it's hard for teachers because we're such service people that like is thinking about yourself and taking time from, like, I don't know. You could go to your second Twitter chat of the week, or you could to try that online yoga class. Like there's a lot of transition that's to go on in the minds of teachers to say like, yes, it's okay to kind of pause and do this for myself. So,
Okay, we have to discuss this because this is so relevant to so many educators right now that feel this guilt. I mean, you're hearing about this constantly. Yes, before the pandemic, but absolutely during, educators feeling like taking time for themselves is selfish. Now we're talking about setting a goal for yourself. Holy moly, that's going to take even more time. How do you make that shift where you can feel comfortable not logging on to that second Twitter chat of the week if it's not going to fulfill you, and instead taking a yoga class? I mean, that is a decision that we have the power to make every day, but to make it without feeling guilt or shame or better yet, not making it, going to a Twitter chat and then feeling really exhausted, that's not helping anybody.
No, and I have to say this is a transition that came out of a place of burnout. And I don't want teachers who are listening to be like, oh, so when I hit rock bottom, that's the only time I can make a change. This is your moment. Like, take these words and run with them. You do not need to end up in a place that I was in when I had to make this transition. Like, it is okay to give yourself permission to put yourself first. And I think just like hearing that and maybe making that a daily affirmation, like, I give myself permission to put me first, and just kind of making that part of your life, that's going to be really powerful.
You know, with our goal this week, and obviously we have another Erin with us in the comments is saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. We obviously hear that phrase so frequently, and it really, I feel like it hits differently depending on where your stress level is. It's a really wonderful reminder. I think it's so difficult to find the balance of when you can make a decision that's just for you. And with our goal this week being small steps to reach those big goals, I think some of these small steps are some of the hardest to make, because once you start making small steps towards improving yourself and at a personal level, you really are going to see big gains long term. So how do you get started with it?
If you're somebody like me who really enjoys making those big ambitious goals, I say set a goal and invest in it in some way. Like, if you want to work on your personal fitness and you really love running, but you've never like attempted a marathon, of course, I was like, yeah, I need to set a personal goal. Let me just like put money down on a marathon for May. And so if you're those kind of person, and that's like totally okay. Like, if you just love goal setting and goal chasing, and that's something that I really enjoy doing, put money on a big crazy pipe dream, and just that'll force you to work on it. If you're someone who's like, actually, no, I just really want to start small and build into these steps, I found the best way to do that was to just book myself off, like in my Google Calendar, which is how I live my life, by my Google Calendars. And there's a small, hour window when I get home. That's like, you're just going to get home, you're going to make yourself a nice cup of tea, you're going to take the dog for a walk, and like just putting in that time. It doesn't have to be filled with something, but saying like, this is my hour after school that I just get to relax for a little bit and hold that time sacred. And honestly, for me, I started with once a week. I had just Monday afternoon, I had 2 hours, and that's all I gave myself. And it slowly worked in, because I found myself getting passionate about what I was doing during that time, so that it felt like it was serving me to serve others. And so like there's two extremes here. You can be like, the goal setting, goal chasing, great. But even if you just like book off the time and say, this is just for me, I can fill it with whatever I want, you're going to find yourself being really excited by that time, I bet.
I think it's so interesting, Erin. I feel like we're not live and I'm just in therapy because I love hearing this stuff. But this is actually a big thing that I've been thinking of too. I love that you're providing these reminders. I hope this is helpful to our community. Definitely keep adding your positive thoughts in the chat, or any questions that you have in the comments. We'd love to continue to engage with all of you that are live with us this morning as we stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and LinkedIn. Oh my goodness, and LinkedIn. But Erin, for me, I found that when I set really, really big goals in my professional life, it was exciting. Like, I was like energized from it. And when I set really, really big goals in my personal life, it was really heavy and it would weigh on me and it was stressful. And so I found that big professional goals, I love setting, but I actually needed to start with teeny, 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 tiny personal goals, because that was the only way that I like actually could relax while doing those personal goals. I don't know if that makes sense. So Jeff Gargas yesterday on the show was talking about how I got a little, it's not really a treadmill, it's like a walking pad. We had this whole conversation about it yesterday. And he was like, so how far are you going to go? And I'm like, I'm not. My goal is to put my feet on it every day. I'm like, this is not a time that I'm going to say like, oh, I'm going to run 10 miles every day. Cause that actually ends up adding stress. I don't know why, but it should be something that I do for myself rather than force myself. And I don't know why there's that differential, but it made a big impact. So I appreciate your reminders that starting small in a personal goal is completely appropriate.
Absolutely.
So if you were thinking through all the goals that you have, do you have a goal that you're currently working towards right now personally that you'd be willing to share and kind of give some detail around what steps you might get started with to work to get started?
Yeah, it had been a personal goal of both my husband and I for a while to bring a dog into our lives, but because we're trying to balance two educator schedules, like we weren't really, sure how to make that work. So over the last couple of months, kind of coming out of the pandemic, we really made intentional time differences and scheduling changes to make sure that when we felt ready to bring a dog into this little family that we're trying to create, then we would both be like fully on board and fully have the time. So it took us, since August to build a schedule in our lives that worked up until the point where when we found a dog that we loved, we were able to bring it home. So that has been something that we've been working on for a while, just making sure like our schedules align and stuff. And again, small steps, it's a process. And like when the time is right, you'll know when the time is right. And so now my biggest goals are actually to just focus on, dog training and keeping our like little nuclear family unit kind of in a stable position moving forward into the spring when it gets a little bit busier. So, but we wouldn't have brought Brickley into the squad if we didn't think we could handle it. So that's, that's the goals that I'm working on in personally right now. So
I love it. Where can we go see puppy pics? You know that everybody that's tuning in, whether they're listening now or later on Teach Better Talk podcast, is going to be like, right. Okay, girls, but where's the dog pics?
I just put a post up on Facebook on Friday.
Yes. Okay. So we can all go find you on Facebook and then go see the puppy. That will be awesome. Erin, the other thing that we love to do on Daily Drop-In is provide good news, celebrate some holidays. So we're going to transition into that. But do you have any final kind of like call to action, suggestions, food for thought that you can share with our network around all the things we've kind of discussed thus far? Something that you really want them to take away from this morning?
Yeah, I think Erin said it best in the comments, and you can't pour from an empty cup. And it's going to be so important as you kind of navigate this new normal going forward from this point, that what you're doing is it's always grounded in your why, and your why can still be to serve others, but you can only do that from a place of fulfillment yourself. So just give yourself permission, take those little steps, and make sure that you're in a great place before you're able to move into this new normal. And if that means like a total lifestyle change, like don't be afraid to take that first step, because it is so worth it.
I love it. We'll be right back with some good news and a good news article. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Erin and I are thrilled to be here with all of you. We're going to continue our Tuesday celebration after our brainstorm bank into our good news for the day. This not only is an opportunity for us to bring like a good news article to all of you, maybe something that brightens your day. Maybe it's a fun fact that you can share with a friend or colleague. It's also something you could bring to your students as a bell ringer opportunity to foster discussion. We also have some goofy holidays, some of them appropriate for students, some maybe just for us. But Erin, are you set to celebrate some holidays with us?
I am ready.
All right. There are a number of different holidays today, as many of you might be familiar with some of these. However, I personally find a few of them very exciting. I know this is maybe not something that we can enjoy until after the workday today, but Erin, are you a margarita fan?
I am, and I'm on February break. So
See?
what's up?
Okay, so once you maybe get some lunch in you, maybe you're getting set for your day. Today is National Margarita Day. So for those of you who needed a little bit of permission to, go hang out with the friends tonight, or get cuddle on the couch with whoever you live with and celebrate a margarita. I mean, a margarita is a great way to kind of cap off the evening, I think.
Absolutely.
So definitely go celebrate National Margarita Day. It is also, and we did not plan this, it is National Walking the Dog Day. It sounds like today might be a day that we need to get outside and walk the dogs. I will say, I have not been outside yet, but I'm pretty sure I can hear that it is pouring rain outside. So I'm not sure that I'm walking the dogs yet this morning. Maybe once it ends, I don't know. Yeah. Will you take the puppy out to practice walking on the leash?
Yes, he can go. He did a 1-2 mile walk. That's the farthest we've gone. Every other time he goes 500 feet and just sits down.
Okay.
So it's more like a puppy carry.
Yeah, no, I understand that. A good puppy carry. You got to practice that every so often. It is also Be Humble Day, Cook a Sweet Potato Day, Single Tasking Day. This is actually very aligned with our goal. Gear up. Today's the day to get things done one at a time. I like that reminder of like trying to accomplish things one at a time off your to-do list. I think that's a good reminder. Erin, when you say you're a Post-it person, do you create Post-its of to-do lists or Post-its of reminders? What's on your Post-its?
They're reminders and like meeting scribbles mostly. I really like Google Keep for my task lists and to-do lists. I think that's the easiest way for me to keep everything organized. And I have like different headers. I did all the Canva fun graphics stuff. Actually, that Haley Harwick, another member of the Teach Better family, posted on her blog I think a year or two ago. So they're all pretty and they're all kind of different buckets for different projects, but the sticky notes are literally just like reminders, or like this is something I had to bring home from work, and this one has like little to-do list numbers, but that's actually just like, don't forget to do this before you leave today. They're everywhere.
I love it. I love it. That's so good. See, and it's easy with a Post-it to be able to say you're accomplishing one thing at a time, because you essentially get to pick up that Post-it, crumple it up, and throw it away. So I love that mentality. I am a massive write everything down on a list and cross it out, but you could cross it out on the Post-it. You still get that satisfaction.
And you can cross it out on Google Keep too, which I like. So when you check the checkbox, it all goes off in a line so you can see what you completed, which I like.
Yes. Okay, wait. This is not an ad for Google Keep, but I use it all the time as well. I love that you can also share Post-its with people so they can also add little notes or tasks or to-dos. It's really good for family planning, or, if you have a team set up where you're collaborating with other teachers and you're trying to accomplish a few different goals. It's kind of nice to be able to all have one place that has the to-do list that you might tackle together.
And you can check them off on your watch. Like you can like go through your to-do list on your watch too, if you're like out of the grocery store or whatever. It's fantastic. Not a Google Keep ad. Google does not need more support or advertisements, but it's so useful if you're a sticky note person.
I love it. Alex in the comments is freaking out. He loves Post-its. He's like, why are we not best friends?
Teach Better 22, Alex.
I know. There we go. There we go. I am seeing another comment here. It says, I use Google Task in my Gmail since that's always open. I love clicking the check mark. I have to tell you, there are so many features, whether it be within Google itself or, Chrome add-on, that allow you to get that satisfaction of like crossing things out, those small task to-do lists, that regardless of where you're doing it, just if you have not found your space, reach out to us. We'd love to help you problem solve. Google Keep's a great spot. Google Tasks is a huge one. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Love Google.
So apparently, Erin, it was just meant to be a single tasking day, which I've never heard of. But again, taking one thing at a time and accomplishing one thing at a time. That sounds good. The picture is somebody looking at 100 different Post-its and taking one off the screen. So I just feel like this was very much planned for you. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I love that. It kind of sounds like it's got like a no bones day vibe. Like, hey, it's a no bones day. Just do one task.
Just do one thing. I love this. See, this is a great reminder. And it's kind of a wacky day already, right? With all the twos that we're looking at on this Tuesday. So maybe just like set a goal of accomplishing one thing. Let's not go crazy this morning. I love it. It's also World Thinking Day. So this is a Girl Scouts and Girl Guide celebration. World Thinking Day is all about supporting the Girl Scout troop. So definitely go check that out. It doesn't say it in here, but I feel like it gives us all permission to eat some cookies. Just an opinion. So yeah. We are going to get into a good news article here, but I do want to give you a small reminder. It is at that half an hour mark of our show. And for those of you who are familiar, we have our admin mastermind on Tuesdays at a brand new time. So for those of you that are getting ready for your day, if you have not registered, you can get over to teachbetter.com/mastermind. Our morning mastermind starts here in just about a half an hour, right at the end of Daily Drop-In at the top of the hour. That's 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. It's an hour-long opportunity for leaders around the world to be able to come together and brainstorm all the things that are going on in our schools, school buildings. And if an AM session doesn't work for you, there's also a PM session, and you can see all those details at teachbetter.com/mastermind. But I always love to give that little reminder on a Tuesday morning, because so many of us are getting ready in the morning, still sipping our coffee, brushing our teeth. And I just want to give you a heads up that in a half an hour, many of you will be all together in a Zoom call to continue this collaboration. So real good. Erin, we'll have to get you into a mastermind some point.
I would love to. I learned about masterminds on a podcast a long time ago, and then the team started doing masterminds. And because of my, high school job, I was saying to Ray this morning, I've usually been at work for half an hour by now, so it's really hard for me to hop into some of these things. But summer's coming, and then I have that time back, so we'll
Well,
see how it goes.
and that's kind of the nice part, right? Depending on your position, depending on where you are in terms of time zones, the AM session might be a really good fit because it's right before school and you get to, sit and collaborate with friends before your students arrive to your building. But on the flip side, you might also be joining in the afternoon or in the evening session, which is facilitated by our one and only friend, Brad Hughes, because that is after hours. Maybe you already have the kids to bed, or maybe you're just getting back from school. Again, all depending on time zones. Kind of gives you the freedom to be able to pick and choose what works best for you. So I like that. Super fun. All right, Erin, our good news today is kind of an interesting twist. I find this to be good news. I also find it to be a really good reminder of the power we all have to impact others in our communities. It says here, a homemade bumper sticker saved a life as she asked for a sign. So in this article, it's discussing a 22-year-old female who was studying at a university level named Brooke, and she was having a really, really challenging time with COVID-19. She was battling mental health, she was battling depression, and she was getting a lot of support from all of her community, her family, her friends, even from medical professionals, but she was really finding herself struggling. She's noting in this article having this moment of being fearful and considering taking her life. When she was on a road, she saw a bumper sticker, and the bumper sticker read, "Please don't take your life. The world is so much better with you in it. More than you realize, we need you to stay." And she goes into this article about how this one reminder that was just on a bumper sticker, it wasn't like somebody shared this with her, it wasn't a personal friend who was articulating this to her, really changed her mindset and gave her this kind of like freedom, this positivity to continue forward with the work that she was doing to get mentally healthy, which she really has been able to persevere through. And it kind of goes through then how these bumper stickers were being created by a woman that just thought that she was trying to spread some love and positivity. She had her own concerns in life, and this bumper sticker was kind of her way to give back and give people this positive reminder that them being in this world really does positively impact so many people. So I thought this was an interesting article, although difficult to think through with some of the heavy topics, kind of the power we have in some of these statements that we say and ensuring that we are lifting others up, even when sometimes we don't even know what power our words have. What are your thoughts on that?
My first thought is we should all go get those bumper stickers. And it's just so important to be intentional in your words, and especially as a classroom teacher, and especially working with any students, and no matter what your role is, in this time that we're facing of just such severe mental health crisis, it is critically important to continue to fill your cup to pour into others. And it's really full circle. That's a really powerful article.
I feel like it's very common. Bumper stickers we've seen all the time. I feel like now, over the last 10 years, we're seeing a lot of like laptop stickers that have these great phrases or reminders. I love kind of those random moments in life where you're kind of looking maybe just in your normal day-to-day atmosphere and you see something that positively impacts you, whether it be, a phrase that so happens to be sitting on a table or a sticker on somebody's laptop that can positively influence the work that we're doing. I love that reminder. And I just want to challenge all of you, if there was a phrase that you wanted to kind of speak more or share more into the community, think about, are there ways for you to do that, right? Whether it be a sticker on your car or anything in between, there's so many important kind of like sentences, phrases, and words that can really have a massive impact on our community. So I guess what I'm going to challenge our community. If you think of one right now, I'd love to see it in the comments. I think we're going to have to go back to Erin's comment a little bit ago about, you can't pour from an empty cup. That in and of itself is a great reminder. Love it. Erin, before we end today and people head into their crazy Tuesday full of twos, I do want to make sure people can stay connected to you, not only as a member of our Teach Better team, but also as just a really, really active participant in our community, and obviously a huge advocate for our speakers network. I'd love to hear kind of how people can stay connected. Where can they find all things Erin?
Oh, thank you. I am at Mrs. Erin Healy, and it's Healey, which I know is tough, Irish spelling. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. I really tried to keep all of that consistent. So definitely connect with me, and I'm looking forward to expanding this community.
Oh, so fun. Thank you so much for joining us bright and early, Erin. We're able to touch on so many things. I'm excited for everybody to continue connecting with you if they haven't yet. We do have a few Teach Better reminders. Can we maybe touch on those real quick?
Absolutely.
All right, Teach Better reminders, friends. Again, Mastermind is starting here. If you are a leader in a school building, if you have an administrator role, a coaching role, if you're a superintendent, a director, this is a really good spot for you. But also if you're listening and you know somebody who may benefit from this group, feel free to just share the link with them. It's always wonderful to be able to go to someone and say, hey, I saw this and I thought of you. You should definitely check it out. It's a completely free group that meets once a week, and it's totally optional every week. If you're able to pop in here and there, it's always just a great safe space to brainstorm. So you can get all those details at teachbetter.com/mastermind. Additionally, Erin, as you know, but we're not giving any spoilers, we have some massive announcements continuously coming, not only this week, but next week with our Teach Better conference. As many of you are already aware, Teach Better conference registration for early bird, $100 off, ends next week. One, we also will be announcing on Monday show our keynote, one of our keynotes. So we're going to be very careful not to spoil that too early. We are continuously celebrating the speakers we have announced, like Mandy Freilich, who was live yesterday with Katie Miglin. Trey Gamage will be live with us on Wednesday. We're also celebrating Alexis Shepard and Jed Derryberry, who have already announced that they're coming to the event as featured speakers. There's a lot positive there and a lot more coming. And then, as many of you are also aware, because I know it's marked on your calendars, holy moly, I hope, we do have 12-hour live coming on Saturday. You're going to see so many faces from our Teach Better community. There are all these themed half an hour and hour discussions. And as Erin and I have mentioned, there's also really wonderful little tidbits of commercials that you're going to be able to see throughout the show of different faces from the Teach Better family sharing some words of wisdom and advice. So there is a lot to get. And that didn't even touch on the hundreds of giveaways that we are giving away. And when I say 100, I mean literally hundreds. So if you are a book person, subscription person, sticker person, gift card person, we got you covered. So head over to teachbetter.com and make sure that you have February 26th on your calendar. 12-hour live is starting on Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn, and it is going to be insane. So obviously, let us know if you have any questions. Erin, thank you again for waking up bright and early on your break to chat with us. It was super fun, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday.
Thanks, you guys as well.
Yeah. All right. Bye, friends. Happy Tuesday. Let us know if you need anything.